we are starting with PAPL, that is mainly Java here. So let's come to the first topic, which is object oriented programming. Now look at the term. This is combination of two keywords. What are those? First one is object and second is oriented. Now what does this object here? Object is the real world entity, right? Now physical as well as logical. How can I say this? For if you're having a pen, pencil, chalk, duster, so these are your objects. So these are physical. But when you are working on a programming language, you are working with the objects in logical terms. So that is, you're having the logical objects there. Now, this is fundamental unit in object-oriented programming that performs some actions and correspond to other programming elements. It performs actions means it is having some task to accomplish. Okay, so it does that task by the communication with other objects, that is by message passing. So objects do communicate with each other to perform any action or the task. Now you can also say an object is an instance of class. Now what is this class here? Class in turn is the collection of similar objects. Now remember one point here. When a class is defined, no memory is allocated. Whereas when the class is instantiated, memory is allocated. What does that mean? Instantiation refers to the creation of the objects from the class. So you can see objects do occupy memory space at the runtime, but classes do not. Now an object has some characteristics like your identity, state and behavior. Now this identity is unique to every object, although that is not visible to us as users, but JVM can differentiate between different objects on the basis of this identity. So this identity is unique for the JVM, right? Now what is the state and behavior? Suppose you are having a physical object, that is your pen. Now the color of the pen is white. So the state or the value is the color, that is white here. And what is identity? Name or the brand of the pen, right? What is the behavior? Behavior is the function to be performed by that object, and that is we write with the pen. Okay, so write is the behavior or the function of this pen object here. Now we can conclude that object oriented programming is the programming system or model that organizes the software development around the objects rather than the function or logic, unlike C. I have written this unlike C. Why? Because in C, you are mainly focusing on the logic or the function. But in case of object-oriented programming, such as your C++ or Java, you are mainly targeting the communication between various objects rather than the function. So priority is objects here. Now there are some concepts in object-oriented programming. First one is objects, that I have already explained. Second is your class, then we are having inheritance, polymorphism, thereafter abstraction, encapsulation and message passing. Now come to class. What is class? Class is the blueprint or the template from which objects are created. Or let me reframe my words. Class is the collection of similar objects. Now class is always logical. See, there is a difference between class and objects in this perspective. Object can be physical as well as logical, whereas class is always logical. It can never be physical. So that's all for this video.